Guys, welcome back to the Basketball Hut. So we're finally in the last stage of the NBA playoffs, and that is the NBA Finals. It is the biggest stage in the season, and it is where every player is proving their worth. So with that being said, in this video, I'm just going to give my final series prediction. I did it for the first round, second round, and even the conference finals. So now I think it's time for me to give my final prediction on the NBA Finals and see who's going to win that Larry O'Brien trophy. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So let's talk about the Phoenix Suns and what they need to do in order to win this series. First off, backcourt of Chris Paul and Devin Booker, top 3 backcourt in the NBA, and they're going to have to show up in these playoffs. Milwaukee, as good of a team as they are defensively, their pick and roll defense, especially with Brook Lopez on the court, is not all that effective in my opinion, especially when you got a pick and roll master like Chris Paul and also Devin Booker. And then those two guys they thrive in the mid-range. I mean, Chris Paul, D-Book, I think they shoot over 50% in the mid-range area. So it's going to be very difficult for Milwaukee to guard them, especially when Brook Lopez is on the court. And also, again, Giannis, I don't know about his health. He probably will come back for sure, but I don't know if he'll be 100%, and that is going to definitely affect Milwaukee's defense for sure, especially, again, when you got two great guards who know how to use the pick and roll to their advantage and can get to their spots with such ease. So I think that the backcourt of Chris Paul, Devin Booker will abuse the mid-range shot in this series, and I think if Milwaukee is to lose their series, it's because of that thing. So kind of like with the Denver series with Nikola Jokic, I think Phoenix will abuse the pick and roll defense and will get to their spots in the mid-range, drive to the basket, all that good stuff. So Chris Paul, Devin Booker are going to play big roles. Obviously, they're star players, so expect to see them do some great things in these playoff games against the Bucks. And also, not just Chris Paul and Devin Booker, but you also have to talk about the other guys on offense, specifically the shooters on the team. You got Mikal Bridges, who shoots the ball really well. Jay Crowder's another sharpshooter. You have Cameron Johnson off the bench, Cameron Payne, Saric, Torrey Craig. So many guys can space the floor and shoot really well from 3. So the spacing is definitely going to give Milwaukee trouble, especially on the fast break. Because again, Phoenix, they always have 2 guys who are in the corners ready to shoot a 3. So on the fast break, Milwaukee has to be ready for that. And I think that Phoenix on the fast break can get some easy corner 3s if Milwaukee is not prepared to guard the corners. So definitely the corner shooters are going to play a big role. As it has been. Throughout the playoffs, we've seen the Phoenix Suns rack up a bunch of 3-pointers. It's been a big part of their game. It's not the thing that's helped them win, obviously. We'll get into that later, but it's definitely been a big help against a lot of teams for sure, and it's a big reason why they made the finals in the first place. So corner shooters are going to be a big thing for the Phoenix Suns, especially when they're running the fast break. Also, they need to maintain their defense. Their defense has been the biggest reason why they're in this position in the first place. Throughout the playoffs, they have played excellent defense. They made the proper adjustments. They did the right switches. Just excellent defense all around. And you're going to need that against this Milwaukee Bucks team. They got Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, 2 guys who are very good at putting the ball in the basket, especially Chris Middleton. So you're going to have to step up on him. And then if Giannis returns, you need to be able to keep him out of the restricted area. And this is where I think Jay Crowder and Ayton are going to play big roles. Crowder, obviously, back last year in the finals, he did such a good job guarding Giannis when they played the Bucks last year. It was like Heat versus Bucks. Heat beat the Bucks in 5, and a lot of it was due to the defense that Heat played on Giannis, especially with Jay Crowder. So he's going to have to do something like that in this series. And then also DeAndre Ayton, he has played such a big role, man. He has really developed into one of the best young centers in the NBA. In my opinion, he's a top 5 center locked. There's obviously a couple of centers I have ahead of him, obviously, but he's number 5 on my top 5 centers. So he has played incredible. His defense especially has been phenomenal. He's done well against a lot of big men, especially like against AD and Jokic, 2 great big man, he has played really well against them. So he's going to have to do something like that against Giannis should he return. Just making sure he stands his ground, keeps him out of that restricted area, and basically makes life difficult for Giannis. So again, you can't really stop Giannis from scoring the ball, but you can make his life as difficult as possible when he's trying to score the ball. So Aiden's going to play a big role. Crowder's going to play a big role. Mikal Bridges, his defense is amazing, and he's going to have to play really well against Chris Middleton. And just overall, the Phoenix Suns, they just have to keep doing what they're doing on defense. Keep switching, keep rotating, keep Giannis out of the restricted area. Build that wall. But yeah, I mean that's really what the Suns have to do, in my opinion. That is going to be the biggest reason why they will win the finals. Their defense on the Bucks and also defense on Giannis should he return to the series in particular. Now let's move on from the Phoenix Suns. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks and what they have to do in order to win the title. So Milwaukee had a great playoff run. They beat the Heat, which is the team that beat them last year. They swept them. They beat the Brooklyn Nets. They then went on to beat the Atlanta Hawks. Granted, they lost Giannis, but they managed to do it anyway, and now they're in the NBA Finals, ready to go up against the Phoenix Suns. And it's all just now, it's what do you have to do in order to beat them? So, one, I think the supporting cast needs to step up. Obviously, that's a big thing with the Bucks, and ever since Giannis has made the playoffs, people have been saying, oh, well, the supporting cast doesn't step up in the big moments, and they have to do exactly that in the finals. Chris Middleton, he's been playing really good as of late, especially when Giannis went down and he had to close out those games versus Atlanta. He played really well, so he's going to have to do that again against Phoenix. Jrue Holiday, he's going to have to do his thing as well, play great defense, play great offense. And then the rest of the supporting cast, Bobby Portis, Brooke Lopez, Pat Connaughton, Dante DiVincenzo, all those guys are going to have to step up big time against the Bucks. Definitely not Jeff Teague. Do not play Jeff Teague, but I guess he can step up as well. But anyway, supporting cast has to step up. That's all I'm saying, especially when it comes to Chris Middleton. Even if Giannis returns, he's still going to have to keep playing well because Giannis, I don't know if he's going to be 100% after that knee injury, so he's going to have to, Chris Middleton that is, he's going to have to step up because, especially if Giannis isn't 100%, if he's like 80%, Middleton does have to continue to step up as the second option. So, just a big thing for the supporting cast, they got to step up big time. Let's talk about the second thing the Bucks have to do. And it actually doesn't rely on the players. It actually more has to do with the coaching staff, particularly a specific coach, Mike Budenholzer, who has been quite, I don't know what the right word is, but he's been kind of, he hasn't been exactly the best coach in the playoffs, I mean, he's had some good moments, but just overall, just really bad moments throughout the playoffs where he has not done his job coaching. So again, he has to make the right adjustments. He has to make the right substitutions. Don't play Jeff Teague, man. Come on, bro. Like, what? I literally watched the Bucks game and he has this man playing Jeff Teague. Like, come on, bro. Like, what does Jeff Teague provide you? But whatever. He has to be at least decent at coaching. I'm not saying he's a trash coach or anything like that. Believe me, there's a lot of coaches out there who are just way worse. But I'm saying he has to be better, especially going up against Monty Williams. And Monty Williams, his Coach of the Year candidate, in my opinion, should have won Coach of the Year. But it's because of Monty Williams' coaching that the Suns are in this position, among other things, obviously. But one of the bigger reasons for them is Monty Williams being a great coach. So, Coach Bud's definitely going to have his work cut out for him, going head to head with Monty Williams on the coaching side of things. So, Coach Bud has to step up. I guess you can say that. Again, he's not a trash coach, but he has to be better. I mean, there are coaches out there, who would agree and just say he needs to be better. I know that sounds generic, but it's true. I mean, he has to make the proper adjustments, proper substitutions, And if he does that, the Bucks can definitely win this series. But it all depends on what Coach Budenholzer does. What his game plan is, and it just all depends on that. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs at a coaching job during these finals. So that should be very interesting to see for sure. Finally, last but not least, we have the Bucks three-point shooting, and their three-point shooting has been kind of inconsistent in the playoffs. They're only shooting like 31% from three, or something like that. I don't recall, but I know it's like 31%, which is not good at all. And again, it comes to how the Bucks move the ball to find the open shooter, and it's just a matter of that open shooter hitting their shot. So, like I said before, this kind of has to relate to the supporting cast. And again, they're gonna have to space the floor, especially if Giannis comes back. They gotta space the floor and they gotta hit their open shots because Phoenix is gonna have that wall on Giannis. So that's gonna leave some good, opportunities for the Bucks to hit some threes. But again, you gotta hit the threes in order to, make it count. So definitely the Bucks gotta improve their three-point shooting, for sure. And if they do that, they can definitely win this series for sure. Alright, so we finally did our overview on both teams, Suns and Bucks, and I think it's now time to give my prediction on the NBA Finals. Both teams are really well balanced. They're both good on offense, both good on defense, but only one team can prevail. And I looked at each team's strengths and weaknesses. Obviously, Suns have Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Suns also have some great shooting. They also got really good defense and just enough good defense to contain Giannis. But the Bucks, they also have Giannis. And obviously he may not return for game one, probably will not, but game two, and 80% Giannis is still pretty good. Then obviously Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday have been stepping up big time as of late, so they might do that as well. And you never know if Coach Bud will actually prove his worth and, outcoach Monty Williams. So with all that being said, though, I'm going to say that this series is going to be a dogfight, but I'm going to say that the NBA Finals, it's going to be Suns in five. Yes, I'm going to say that the Phoenix Suns will win the NBA Finals in 5 games. And I know I just said it was going to be competitive, but I think each game will be very close, will be very, very like a one possession type game. But I think in the end, the Suns will prevail. I think the Bucks will win game 3 or game 4 in their home court, and then I think the Suns will close it out in game 5 in their home court to bring home the title. So that being said, that is my final prediction of the NBA playoffs. That is going to be a wrap on the video. So again, prediction, Suns in 5. I think it could also go to 6 games, but I think Suns are going to win in 5. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also just let me know what you thought of this year's playoffs and what you think about this year's finals matchup. I think personally this year's playoffs, despite all the injuries, it was really good. It was great to see some unpredictability. It was great to see, some small market teams make it to the NBA Finals, because usually you see all these super teams and big market teams always make it, and the NBA has just become predictable. So this has been a great change of scenario for the NBA in general. So just really excited to see this year's finals, really excited to see who's going to win it, and then also just really it was a good season. It was a really good season, and hope they can cap it off with a really great all-time finals performance. So, yeah, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching again. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day.